Welcome to Friendverse, the podcast. This is Wandia.
And this is Ciiku.
And we are back.
We are. And
I would say that some of you are thinking we wouldn't come back because we've kind of gotten into the hang of it.
I know. As in, at this point, bet on us.
Yeah, exactly.
Bet on us.
Bet
Even
on us.
advertisers, bet on us.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Firstly, we're looking for that sponsorship.
We even have something, a write-up. Anyway,
if you tuna proposals, we have decks.
Yes.
Actually, it's not, we won't call it a PPT. It's a deck.
Mm-hmm. We are doing the damn thing. Yeah. This is a thing. This is a career, okay?
Exactly.
Podcast hosting is a career. That's
exactly.
all, you know. And we enjoy it. And we are creating content and we have fun and we give you things to think about. I mean, why not, you know? Yeah, so Wandia, tell the people the things.
Yeah, so my quote this time is from a physical type of engagement. I was at a work event, and then during that work event, what is his name? Omtata. Okay, Omtata.
Mm-hmm.
So this for people who are not really conversant, is this guy who, whenever there's some legislation that is, sideways, he's coming at us sideways. He'll be the one who's going to court and be like, he's rejecting this idea. He's taking most likely the people who legislated, basically the government, to court. And he said something during this event that I was at, and to be honest, it applied to so many things in my life at that particular moment, and I really liked it. It's nice and short. He said, "We leave evidence that we are not part of the process." We leave evidence that we are not part of the mess. And it made me think that oftentimes we take things lying down. Someone will come at us sideways. Things will not be going right. But sometimes it matters for us to communicate that this was not what was meant to be, or this was not right based on my standards. And it's just there, not exactly to control the action of that other person, maybe the person who did you wrong, but it's just there so that when we look back, we say that you at least fought for your rights. You were like, this is my position and I still stand by it. And you may go ahead with what you're doing, but you just know that I've registered my non-supportive nature, that my dissent, all that. I'm not part of it. So that when we are revisiting history, which we are not good at as country,
Kenyans, oh my God.
We're not good at that. I mean, when we look back at...
No, you're right.
Boys, all that.
Oh my good, don't get started.
It was quite interesting, to be fair, and I feel like we need to be more conscious about how we're registering our dissent and not at Also, people may be registering dissent and then us, we're happy-go-lucky, we're saying all the good things. And doesn't it make us also question, what happened? So that we understand that it's not exactly a 360 view, it's an individual view. How did it affect other people,
Yeah.
Or sometimes even when we look at our own opinion, it may be clouded by maybe peer pressure, or we weren't really being honest with ourselves. So it kind of made me believe in this idea that, things may happen the way they happen, but you don't have to completely be okay with them. By you just putting it out there for the record, it means that at least your conscience is clean, you're working towards something better, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That was it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Wandia, has it been since you turned 30? This whole you're growing old thing. Has it been?
Am I really growing old or younger?
Anyway. Me, I'm growing old. Let me tell you, that thing of wanting to remain young is a capitalistic tool, to make you spend... and to make you spend money on things. And what is those things? Things to make you younger and what? Me, I'm not here for that. I'm growing old. As in, that's what it is. Let me tell you, me, I'm even more focused on planning my 40th birthday party, because if I'm alive, it's gonna be a party. it's gonna be
Let me tell you,
no, yeah, it's
after
fine.
30 the knees.
Then,
to be fair,
yes,
that is the most
it's aging. Your body changes. I hear you. But as in, people would say, you should be glad that you're still here, you still have life. I mean, me, I'm not attached to this business of living, so props to you who are. But yeah, I mean, I must say there are things I've liked about growing older. I don't know about you.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, growing older means being more sure about what you want.
Exactly. No, but and also that has a caveat because it depends on if you're doing inner work.
Exactly, but
yeah, because there are people those who are going with the flow at knowing what they want. No, they know what society expects.
Exactly,
and that's what they do.
And this is the thing, you can tell if someone is being authentic because they're like, it's a performance.
Yes.
It's helping them get more money, more clout, more
social capital, something. I'm like, but honestly, I feel like for me, like the older I get, the more sure I am about what I want. And the more willing I am, I feel like the older I am, like you can't even shame me or blackmail me. If I really don't want you in my life, or if I don't want your stories, or if I don't want your religious blackmail, there's nothing you can do. As in, you can talk all you want. Those things don't work for me. And I feel like when I was younger, I was more like I needed that approval from people, so I was willing to listen to a lot of people's opinions. And now I'm like, what?
It's so tiring.
It is
trying to please your parents, your friends, your teachers, your
bosses,
society. Like, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, even this ability to say no, I feel like as you grow older, maybe this is also tied into, old people are allowed to some leeway. So maybe we are benefiting for some level of that, but also knowing when you need to say no, basically.
But also, I just want to say, like, everything I mentioned in today's episode is based on whether you're doing inner work. It's not general stuff. Because even sometimes because even what you're saying, Wanzi, I'm like, sometimes I believe like our parents' generation is the most influenced by peer pressure. So even saying no for them, it's not that they are saying no because they don't believe in this thing. It's just that I'm tired. That's their excuse. But then there is a lot of peer pressure on how they do things, like, in church they are doing this, so I have to do this thing, or your aunties and uncles are doing this thing, so you have to do this thing. I'm like, I'm sorry, what's into my friend, miss me. Me, I'm so happy because like by now my family knows me, so they know not to ask me some things, because sometimes I feel a type of way. I'm like, yes, I'll say no, but see, at least you ask me so that you give me that kanini so that I say no. Yeah. Ask me so that I can say no, even though I'll already say no.
Yeah. So you see, you bring up this thing for your family already knows me. I feel like my family already knows me, but they keep testing me just because I'm the last born. So it's like always or maybe it's just so natural for them to do these things. Like Juicy, I was trying to get an insurance package, so I called this family friend of ours who now I was telling them what I want and everything. Then they were like, "Ay, Kumbe, you have things." I was just like, please excuse me.
Excuse
like what? Excuse. I mean, this is not the way you help me reply to, send you business. Like, this is not the way it will work. And later on, I was just like, kuzoyana. And I was just like, you know what? I would rather approach someone who look at us as a professional relationship and will treat me seriously. And not at this is Nani's baby sis. And now I guess akona tuvitu tudogo. So
capitalism.
Akona tuvitu tudogo, so I'm helping her with this thing. And I was just like, that statement totally put me off. And I was like, you know what? I'd rather someone who doesn't know me to help me with this.
By the way, and I know it has nothing to do with this episode. There's that thing where because your parents use this person or whatever because they're a family friend, there's that pressure to use the same people. I feel like at this point where I am, I'm like, by the way, I'm not gonna do those things. I'm like, I'm not gonna use this insurance company because my parents use them. I'm like, no, that familiarity, they kind of like take advantage. I'm like, nope.
I was like, immediately
or like
after
you bank,
that,
even the bank.
Yeah, I knew this would not work. And I was just like, yeah, I need to be keen on getting someone else to help me in this information. Yeah. So there's good things. Do you have any other good things or bad things about aging? Something you've been thinking about?
Yeah, I've been thinking about a lot of things. So in the spirit of positivity, which I'm trying to embrace now more than ever, I'm gonna start with the things I like about growing old. And the first one is, like, I feel like if you work on yourself, which I am, that process is so difficult, but the results are so worth it. Like, I feel so much better about the decisions I'm making about my life. And, because before I used to be so concerned about what people would say, or like if I'd feel like this shame or whatever. But now I'm like, you know what? See, me, I'm easy. If you're feeling a type of way, by the way, I get it. Your feelings are valid, but they're not justified. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm here for myself. This life is long. Let me do what I want.
At the end of the day.
Yeah. Let me do what... This life, by the way, is so long. What? So, yeah, I'm here for that.
Especially if you're until 100, that's fucking long.
Yes.
To be fair, when I look at 70, that looks like long.
Let me tell you.
It looks long.
Yeah, it does. And my dad just turned 70 this year. So,
exactly.
you know.
Yes.
So I'm looking at him, I'm like, can you imagine your life just doing things because of other people and what they think you should be doing? My friend, that is not the life I want to live. And so, yeah, I'm doing a lot of inner work. I'm trying to be the best me I can be for myself and people I care about, So the other thing I like about how I'm growing is, I'm aging, let me say that, is how I'm not so influenced. I don't know if that makes sense. But like when I look about, like when I was 24, for example, I was so influenced by what was trendy, what's in fashion, how people were dressing, how people's faces were looking like, all those things. Now, by the way, I've accepted myself. Let me just tell you people, I'm the least fashionable person there is out there. Me, I wear what fits. I like that. I'm going to buy it like that. Is it not trendy? I don't care. I don't put on makeup because that's not my thing. Like, I'll put on a loose lipstick, but I am not the person who's gonna do a face beat. Like, I have nothing against it. It's just that, first of all, I'm lazy. I've embraced that so much. You guy, I've embraced my laziness. Like, people look at me like, you're still in bed. I'm like, because I'm supposed to be doing what? I've embraced the lazy. So I'm lazy. I don't do makeup. I don't, I am not as influenced as I used to be. Like, for example, I even remember when I started Twitter, I was so influenced about what I should post about or what I should be talking about or, all those things. But now I'm like, you know what? I post what I want. Do you not want to follow me? Do you not want to watch my stories?
Move along.
That is fine. Now I don't even care. If you don't care about my content, that is fine. The other thing I like about where I've reached in my life is I don't desire attention. By the way, I don't want attention. Even like the day we are recording this, I had a conversation with my nail guy about attention. And I was telling him how when you're young and you want people to like look at you. Now, I don't, by the way, I don't desire that thing. Like, I don't even want you, like, so even what I post online, I'm not, sometimes I'm like, I'm a bit of a judgy McJudge. I'm sorry to say. Is that the age thing? Am I anti-Waharia now and I'm judging people? Like, I try not to judge people, but sometimes I'm like, what lack of attention did you have in your childhood that you're posting this thing on Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media for attention? Like, that's the person. I'm sorry.
How do you know if someone is posting for
attention?
No,
of course did I just not say I'm judging McJudge?
Oh.
I just said.
So it's
not based on anything. And I don't do it. Okay, there I've lied. I've lied a bit, so forgive me, dear listeners. I really don't care what you're posting. All I'm saying is I am not seeking attention as I used to when I was a kid. Because, before you just wanted, like, some attention made you feel seen. There's attention that makes you feel seen from, like, randos on the internet. And then there's attention that makes you feel seen by people in your life. That's what I want. I want people I'm connecting with to make me feel seen. Because let's not sit here and act like being seen is not a thing. It's a thing.
It's important.
It's a thing.
Support.
So I'm not looking for attention from randos. I'm looking attention from people I'm connecting with. So maybe that's what I wanted to say. So ignore anything I ever said about judging.
Yeah, actually that's quite a good point.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like for many of us Twitter has just been, this thing that maybe you come back once in a while and you put that thing.
By the way, I don't miss it. Like when Twitter
Indeed.
needs to serve me a purpose, I'll post something and I'll be around, but I don't feel that need to post. You know what I mean? Like you know.
Remember them days for thread.
I used to be thread. Oh, I used to quote tweet people and call them out like a fucking idiot.
Then you thread. Can you imagine? We used to thread.
Thread. Growth. That's all I can say. The other thing I'm enjoying is following my intuition. Like, do you know, we all have intuitions, but we feel like we don't trust it. Like me, I trust my intuition a lot, so much more than when I was a child or when I was like a young adult. Like I know, like when my intuition is telling me something, my intuition is telling me, reach out to Wandia. I'll reach out. Because you know what happens when you're like in that age of 24 where you're like, Wandia doesn't even like talk to me. I'm using Wandia here as an example because she sat next to me. But you know what I mean? Like when you're young, you're like, Wandia doesn't even need me. Wandia is doing fine. I've seen her Instagram. But my intuition tells me, reach out to Wandia. I will reach out to Wandia. I will not feel, even if she doesn't respond, by the way, it's not on me. Because me, I followed my intuition that said, reach out to Wandia, say what's up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
I like that thing, Kabisa.
I feel like
it doesn't matter about who. So 1 point.
Yeah.
When it feels like you want to do it.
Thank you. And I also like I don't know how to explain it, but in terms of that intuition thing, I feel like when I was younger, I was, Bell Hooks in All About Love talks about how the youth is very wary of love because of they've seen how love can hurt you and all those things. And now I'm like, you know what? Wandia is my friend. Like, please no, again, I'm using Wandia as an example. But I'm like, Wandia is my friend. And I feel like I need to talk to her, or I want to talk to her. It's not even a need. I just want to talk to her and tell her this thing, or this meme I found, or whatever, or this song that I've liked that I think that she wants. It's not those things of, what if she doesn't respond, or, oh, what if she... Because I feel like your youth is so consumed with that nonsense of, will this person respond? Will this...
Will I get the interaction that I want?
That is the right way to put it. But now I'm like, you know what? Me, I know Wandia. We've been friends for years. I know this song is right up her avenue. I'm gonna YouTube link. Wandia has gotten it. Has she responded? Has she not responded? That's not on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. When I'm growing older, I've kind of embraced, like, I feel so good about it, and I've noticed it as well. It's not about a lot of like back, because I know, like, we've chosen each other to be friends. So it's not that there's no reciprocity, but
it may ebb.
Yeah, it ebbs and flows. That's the thing. Exactly. Yeah. So the other thing is, like, I've become so good on calling myself out on BS. Like, like, there are sometimes I'm like, by the way, Ciiku, there, you just responded because you were angry. That's not the way you should have responded. I will apologize immediately, and then I'll apologize. Because I'm so, like, I know when I'm doing it and it's not authentic. Like, it's just a response that's just, because I keep telling people, like, your emotions are valid, but they're not always justified. Sometimes they're justified, not always. So sometimes I'll respond a certain type of way because I've gotten irrationally angry, So I kind of, I'm always like, Ciiku there, do better. So I've really been calling out, especially recently, I've been calling myself out on BS, and it's a good thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a good thing. So those are a few of the things before I take over. You tell me a bit of your good things.
Now I'll take it the opposite way, but just to say I think getting better at relationships is a big part about growing
relationships
older.
That matter.
Yeah.
Because there are others that are in your life, but they don't
also
matter.
You get good at recognizing that, hey, this relationship is not really where I want to be.
Amen.
Nipeleki mahali. Let's just put it here in the back burner and everything. So being good at relationships is something that at least comes with age. I think with practice. But yeah, when we look at the flip side, about aging, so there are some things, that come with aging, and then now you see when you're aging, everyone else around you is also aging. So I would think about something like looking at our parents' age is such a huge thing, because sometimes you view your parents as this, I don't know if you can say larger than life, but we found them here, and then we've lived through, like especially for people who still have their parents around, it's like you see them consistently throughout, whether they're giving you, support, or they're just being nonsense or whatever. But it's still that thing about seeing your parents age is like now they rely on you, especially when you look at the flip side. It's not like we're the ones who rely on them, especially. So maybe this is also like a result of capitalism and looking at our relationships with our families, our parents, and now seeing that now it's like they're losing some of that power. So it's kind of it takes you aback, because also you don't know how to deal with it. You don't imagine your parents being needy of you in any way. And also when you look at the emotional side, so like I would say for me, so let's say when we're growing up, they're very stern, or they don't have two ways, it's black or white. And later on is when they're trying to mend fences. They're softer and everything. So, dealing with them growing old, them being softer, them being like, okay, we could do this other way. It's a lot to take in. And you're doing all these things at the same time. And it's like, it kind of, you grow up thinking that, man, I can't wait to be independent so that I can show them that all these things. And then when you reach at this age when you're like, I want to show them, it's more like, they are now being soft. We don't really need to show them all that we're doing. It's just that, are you around to spend time with them? And then it's like, it kind of leaves you with questions, or these wants that you still have, like, you brought me up to be like this, why were you like this? And now all of a sudden it's like you're showing a different side of you. Where do you take all these emotions, all these questions, and you're like, man, my mom should answer to this. Why has she suddenly changed, and now I can't deal with all this shit? Yeah.
There's a tweet you've reminded me of, and I'm looking for it because I know I screenshotted it, and it was from Nigerian Twitter, but I was like, this is so Kenyan Twitter, because it was those ones of Nigerian parents don't work on emotional connection with their kids. Then when they are 50, they start seeking that intimacy with their kids. And I was like, that is Kenyans. Kenyan parents.
100%. So now what do you do with all this? It's like, already they're being vulnerable with you, and that time you've already maybe, okay, I would want to say shut yourself off, but in a way shut yourself off, and you're like, I was not prepared for this new version of you. So what do we do here? So I remember actually this time I was asking these questions like on IG, because then at that point I felt like my mom was making more than usual effort to be emotional and in touch and everything. And I was just like, it's kind of awkward, because I'm not so sure. You don't experience these things. So what do? Do you just go along with it? Do you just like, be awkward as well? So
it's and it's that exactly that tweet where I'm like, we've never been this way. So for you to change is tricky, because I'm also experiencing the same thing. And I'm like, by the way, I had an honest conversation. I was like, this is not how things were, what's happening. But it's that mortality thing, that's what it is, right? It's not even that search for a connection. It's those ones of, I'm about to die. It's like they've gotten that thing where they're like, I'm about to die. So,
I want to leave my affairs in good order. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's one of the things that actually now amongst my age group, this is something that is now being more frequent. We are thinking about it more because our parents are getting sick, or maybe they need something, and so you have to show up a bit more than usual.
Let me tell you, I had to hire a driver for my dad because he can't really see. And I was like, oh my God. Because that was one of the things that he's always done since I was a kid. He's always driven himself and whatever. And I had to hire a driver. I'm not the one paying the driver. I just had to interview the driver, I had to interview, because those are the things now I am doing for my parents. And I'm like, it's so stark watching your parents grow old. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, God, it's a thing.
It's a thing. Because the first time you see them maybe sick in hospital, those things.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
It's not at all. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
I mean, me, as a New York, the things you don't like are very... Because my things was like, guy, these days I have hangovers. I never used to have hangovers when in my 20s. As in, you guys, I used to wake up. Like, I drink, the next day wake up. Like, life as usual.
Let's remember my birthday. See, all of us woke up and we're here at GC. Sometimes I feel like tunajibeba.
No, but also that day, your birthday, we ate. Don't forget we went to Chicken Inn and ate.
I remember eating that chicken and I was like, this is making it worse.
For you, but
like,
you
feeling like,
No, you had done many shots. You know me, I was okay. So by the time I woke up, I was alright because also I had stuck to a certain drink. I hadn't like done many shots. Because it's your birthday, it's a whole different thing. But for everyone else, we were easy because...
Wow, so I was the one who was...
Yeah, you were the one... If you noticed, it was
I didn't notice. I'm noticing now.
Well, sorry. But also, because I can't believe we agreed to that plan. Anyway, hangovers are the devil. I don't know how you people who used to get hangovers in the 20s used to survive.
If you get those hangovers for you're feeling weak. You know that one for you're weak.
Yeah.
Then your stomach is also shivering.
Yeah.
Hey, so even that one, the threat of more enjoyment is not something you'd even entertain.
Let me tell you, the funny thing is, Korea's always had hangovers. Always okay, well, we met in the tail end of our 20s, but he's always had hangovers, according to his stories. Hangovers were a rumor. Like, we used to go out, the two of us. So the next day I've made plans. Oh, we are going for lunch. The next morning, he's like, Miss Yendi Pali. So I'm going by myself, going for plans. Him is dead to the world. I'm like, what is this? I used to even take offense to that story. I'm like, boo, shape up or shift out,
And look at you now. Look at you now.
Now, you guys, if I don't drink water, if I don't eat. Let me tell you, those 24-hour mug and beans came to Saidia, us old folks. You just eat before you sleep. That sandwich, the bread, it kind of absorbs the alcohol. You don't think so? Since you're always with us anyway. Like, I've never gone to mug and bean without you, so I don't know what.
I'm just like, once you're already there, you're there. Like, Mimi, Kwanzaa, I can't sleep when I'm super toasted.
Seriously.
The room goes round.
I know, that feeling is terrible.
I need to eat. So, if I figure here 6 a.m. and I'm zungukai, we'll just have to sit on the bed for a moment.
Shower.
We are drinking water, we are showering, so that it can shukisha. Otherwise, when I close my eyes, I just feel like I'm gonna. It won't work. So that has.
Did it always that way?
Always. Even now.
I don't understand.
I envy people who black out.
Imagine me.
I can never black. Like, I don't know the concept.
Or like me at Nyege Nyege. Let's not revisit that story.
You like that day by day. Actually, that whole process made me the alcohol shukisha. Because now, at one point, I was like, "Ooh, when we're eating, when we're eating is usually a last resort. Part of last resort." Because I'm like, hey, I got carried away.
Let me tell you. Me, I've known the trick. And if this doesn't work for you, I don't know how to help you. Before you sleep, like before you even shower, when you fika home, okay, those who can shower, I know some of you go a bit, out there.
Even though I'm crawling, I will go into the shower.
Lazima you shower. Shower lazima.
Anyone who is not fika into their home and not showering before bed, I don't know, there's an issue.
No, me
just take it up. It's same. Even though it's projectile on vomit onto the. But then I have ever come here to my house. These flower beds. They got an essence of me. Nikaingia nikaoga. Like, it has to happen.
Yeah, you have to take Eno. Always have Eno. And a painkiller. Let me tell you, the people who I have freaking told that hack, they have come back and told me that's what's up.
Yeah.
So and a painkiller. The other thing is like my stomach issues. Let me tell you, okay, fine, I'm a lactose intolerant. But now, it's like, if I eat, like, sometimes I'll eat something. Like, now I've decided I'm not eating at, like, functions. I don't eat at functions because it's not even the lactose I'm reacting to, because I'll take my lactose pills. So, it's not the lactose I'm reacting to. It's just my stomach that has decided, you know what, bitch, you're old. Like, you're old. You're an old heifer. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I know even you. Don't act like your stomach is not becoming worse. I've had stories. I've been on the listening end of stories.
The people who eat KFC.
Again, you're on that story.
I don't understand.
You're on that story.
By the way, KFC was created to bring you down.
No, you're by the way, if Kuri loves KFC. He is like, what? Let's pity a drive. You know me, I can't eat. I keep telling you this. I can't eat KFC. But him, it never reacts on him. It never reacts on him. Him is easy.
You know in Mezoya, that one for your stomach is running.
But do you remember that day that you thought you were having a gluten allergy, like you bread and charcoal?
But that's when I had a tummy bacteria.
Yes.
Like anytime I was eating, I just...
See, that's what I'm saying. Those are they never used to happen to me. Like, lactose aside, my stomach never used to react the way it reacts now.
Miscellaneous things. Like, I go on the side of the street and eat something.
Let me tell you, queues, outside queues, we used to eat those eggs. Now, miss me.
But let me just be fair. I've never eaten those eggs outside. I've never eaten boiled egg outside my house.
Seriously. I used to eat. I would sit here and act like I never... Even boiled maize on the street I've eaten. Even if they pee there, I used to eat.
Exactly. My mom...
even those Miwa, I used to eat. But now, catch me dead. Thank God my mom is a farmer, because now I get my miwa from her farm.
But even beyond the lactose, I'm just like, the risk of having a running stomach, is that a cost I'm willing to bear?
Never.
I'm sorry.
You become picky about, okay, but that's us. Because now I'm like, Kuri don't care. Kuri, you little whatever. What to me?
Like something that just looks suspicious. I'm like,
I know. But even those risks we used to take, they reduce. That's the truth of the matter. Let's not sit here and
even touching food, we're like, I need to wait. Like, I need to be 100% protected.
Yeah.
Because even, I feel like, of course, there might be a psychological addition to it, but we're not the same.
No, but I think also it's because your body doesn't respond the way it used to respond back in the day. Like, you would spring back faster. Because even a cold takes you down faster.
This cold.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, before you take... I used to be able to just take up Flugon or whatever the hell the cold medicine was back in the days, because, I'm very old. Whatever.
Your CV, the heifer is old.
If you have not, like... gained it, like, and I'm old. Anyway, but like, I feel like it takes longer to bounce back from like something as simple as a cold.
You're trying not to get sick.
Yeah. Basically. So now you're doing preventive measures. You're taking Centrum and all those
vitamin C. I can't move a day without vitamin C. Let me just be fair.
But let me ask you one thing: are you sleeping better? Because I'm not. Like, how is your sleep cycle? Like, has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse?
Compared to when I was younger?
Yes, like,
because I have more problems. Now I wake up thinking about them. Like, those days for feeling restless. I don't remember restlessness. What is restlessness? What? Did that vocabulary even exist? Later on, you're like, I was restless. Bitch, I've never used that word.
My mind, who did I tell the other day? That my mind could not stop thinking.
My hamster was hamstering. Like, excuse me, it's an old age problem.
I'm telling you, because before I used to just I could sleep even with the most noise in the world. Just put my head down.
I used to sleep with the radio on. Say, I'm hearing something. Zima hiyo kitu.
Yeah.
Because it's interrupting.
You're looking for white noise.
But I used to sleep with the radio on. My folks used to have an issue.
I know.
When in my old age, I need pin drop silence. See, there's a bar here. I'll be like, Nema, come fix it.
It's up. Hey, let me tell you. Me, I sleep with the earplugs. Like, even if I'm in the quietest place now that I'm there.
Someone could jazz you.
No, now I've zoered. Like I've sleep with earplugs. Even when I go on holiday, because now my body is so attuned to earplugs in my ears. When I sleep with like I have earplugs in my handbag. Like I'm never not with earplugs.
Yeah.
You know why? Hey, this growing old is tricks, man.
I feel like also with growing old, there's these health things. You know, you're like, guy, this guy irritation in my, in my tummy. It's my backache. Guy, what if it's cancer? Guy, what if it's some chronic? Guy, it's diabetes. What, guy, it's arthritis? Guy! Like, it's like we build these things because, when you're young, you're like, I raved for, 3 days back to back. So, yeah, that's what the knee is about. But now you're like, okay, this knee pain has been there for like 4 months. Is it arthritis now? Like, I'm 31 and now already Nisha burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're only 31.
Here we go. The old bitch is at it again. Okay. Old. Yeah, so I feel like now it's more like, is this mild thing that when your body fails you, is it like a thing it's telling you, well, you have this thing? Of course, for us, is number one is cancer.
By the way, just this week I told someone I had cancer. So I hear what you're saying. Because I was feeling more pains. I was like, this is cancer.
I was having backache. Nimefanya yoga yote. Then I was like, guy, maybe I have cancer in my back or something. Nilienda, I just told you have a UTI. Like, can you relax? I'm like, so these small things, then it makes us now more fearful. And then it's like, maybe we don't go to Hosi, or maybe we're not even telling anyone that we're going through this thing, because they're like, shit, hey, my body has just
let me tell you the other thing about growing old is, you see the way one day has just said it was a UTI. Imagine when you're 20 something and telling someone you have a UTI, they think it's like an STD or something. But when you're older, you're like, you know what the hell causes a fucking UTI? Like, as in, the wind could have blown wrong in your coochie. Like, it could be anything. Your body told you no. But when you're 23, you can't even tell someone you have a fucking UTI. Because you've been shamed into believing some fucking nonsense. Honestly.
But the growth, that is growth with age.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like,
that's what I'm saying.
I embrace my, like, what are they called? Diagnosis. Yeah, the ones that are not cancer. No, I'm just like, guy, then I rebought Natties. But then I bought Natties.
No, what's funny? The other day I was thinking, as in, was it better back in the day when mortality was like the guys died younger, and then versus now where guys are dying when they're older, but they're dying of like terrible things like cancer. You know what I mean? Like, is it better when you were younger and you used to die because there was no food? You know what I mean? Like, what's better? If you were to sit down and think about it, I don't know.
There are people, as in now you get pneumonia.
Yeah.
You croak. Get a loose cancer, you croak.
As in, guys, and then you struggle. It's not like you're just dying like this. It's like someone is in Hosi, like you go through chemo, you go through dialysis. I'm like, is this better? Is this value?
We were talking about how we would want to die.
Yeah.
Like if we were to choose.
Yeah.
So we're not experimenting, but we're like, which is the easiest and
I want an accident. Just go out.
What
I'm
if
out.
you become immobile, paralyzed,
you
and
see,
everything?
Me, I think, like, I feel like I'd have no will to live, so I'd still die.
That's not the way it works.
No,
just like you break all your limbs. Then you have a chest issue. You have a cable breathing for you through your neck. I'm just like, bro. Hey, I mean, we've been watching Grey's Anatomy,
which has been debunked by all medical professionals.
I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're just like, it doesn't work like that.
I know. So you want to go through health issues?
We started talking about the Ciiku in the house. Maybe you've taken
you have a Ciiku.
I would buy it. Take to a bedroom. Okay, but then someone said that would be painful. Then we're like, maybe you take like edibles and everything. But then I was like, actually slitting your... Okay, no, we can't actually get into this.
Exactly.
I just thought thought about
trigger warning.
Yeah, there needs to be trigger warning about this.
No, that's me. I'm talking about like when
and least invasive.
That is the thing. No, me. Let me just tell you. Me, I want like I be shot in like
in a
foiled carjacking or robbery.
That's when you're shot in your boob. All of a sudden, now your boob, and it's not that you wear your hattie, so everything is God. So your lung collapses, your boob has a gunshot. So now what are we doing?
At least my boob would become smaller.
Maybe now it will just touch your belly button. That's what it would do. Okay. Because it's just like all the muscles have just been shot up. Like what? No, it's trouble. It's trouble.
Okay, so I don't know. You know that thing of hoping you'll die in your sleep happens to very few people.
Very few.
Let's be real, guys.
And drinking konyagi and drinking sijui what. I don't. And sijui edibles. I don't know. We've enjoyed too much in life for us to close it in the same way.
As you sleep and then you go.
And then you croaked.
Unlikely. It's gonna be torturous. You're paying hospital bills. Some of us only have NHIF.
Me, I'll just be like, to be honest, I feel like that thing for weight. I'm just like, Nikipata diagnosis. What are we fighting for? I did to say here.
In this world.
Okay, maybe cognac.
But at that point, you can't even take cognac because you're dying.
Well, nikikata diagnosis niseme I'm not even seeking treatment. Now that 1 month that I have left, I just look at my account. Naona. So,
but
you have a challenge to finish all this money. I'll be like, to be fair, I wish we knew when we're gonna croak, so that I'll be like, what I like, even I can quit my job.
I know.
Can you imagine the last day of your life, you're still
oh my God, do you know? Oh my God. My boss, my former boss, let me say that because I had just quit that job. Then my boss died and he was gonna retire a week after that. Imagine.
No, look.
Imagine.
Oh,
you guys.
Like
he was gonna retire like on a Friday. He died like the previous weekend. So we buried him like on the day he was gonna retire. 60.
That's just
you guy. Hey, this life is tricks. This life is
just do that thing that you are Don't be
within reason.
Yes, exactly.
Within reason.
Just do it. Don't wait until for that perfect moment to wear that bra.
Or when you grow old.
Kwanza hiyo ya kuvaa bra na panty, don't wait for it when that day you're being seen in it. Please. Actually, I don't believe in that thing.
No, let me tell like the other day.
Kesho, wear tomorrow.
I know. Like, I'm like, I've been looking at things in my closet that I've never worn. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm giving out these things. Like, I've been giving out things I've never worn. Because I'm like, it's been 2 years since I bought this thing. And I've never worn it. Why is it here? Let that shit go.
Mama, those ones for, when you gain weight, then there's this tiny jeans. We can't even go in.
As in?
Unaziweka.
No, okay, me to be honest.
Anything in my closet at this moment fits me.
No, to be honest, I won't lie. There's like 2 things I've kept in my. They can't fit me, but the memories associated with them.
There we go.
So they are there for a purpose. They are not there to be atty for me to lose weight.
Hopefully,
no, it's just because.
Which ones are jeans?
No.
Remember, there's a time I used to wear jeans.
No, me, I don't. Me, there are 2 things, I even know them in my head right now. 2 things I've kept in my closet. Not because I ever plan to wear them, but the memories associated. Yeah. One is when I was in Baltimore and I used to wear things. Like, let me tell you, the US, no one cares what you're wearing. Like, what you wear the shortest, no one cares. I was still fat. I was wearing those short things to the rave. You get there's an outfit I will never let go of because it reminds me of my favorite year in my life of when I was 24. Was that? When I was 24 years old. 2006. 2006. I'm on. Oh, now you can calculate how old I am. I'm old. But I was 24 in 2006.
Hakuna mtu wa mathematics.
Mathematic, yeah. That's my favorite year. Like, I was so carefree. Like, I did. Like, honestly, I loved that year. It was a good year of my life, to be honest.
That's a difficult question. When was I actually carefree? I feel like a lot of my life I was stifled by what people will think about
I know. Me. Yeah. No, I feel like, honestly, being in the
even
US young made me crazy.
Oh, okay.
Not crazy, but it made me
just release.
Yeah, breathe. Yeah. I was like, because here it would be those ones of Ciiku, you need to lose weight. Ciiku, you need to do this. Ciiku, you need to do this degree. You need to do law. Because I remember I used to be pressured to become a lawyer. Oh, Ciiku, but there
Why
it
law
was
even?
because that's what I was called for, even though it was my second choice.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Got it.
So it was those ones of, oh, you need to do all this, and then my mom is super religious, so it would be those things of, oh, you need to go to church. But because I was so far away, I could
It was
do,
easy to just...
yeah, it was easy to do what felt right at the moment, even though I still carried a lot of those like, what would people think, and but there were moments where I was like free. It was those moments of shame were there, and also because it was those days where there was no WhatsApp so there was no instant feedback. It was those ones of my mom, like a couple of days later would tell me something, and then it would be like, I'd feel something, but it was like a couple of days later, I've already done the damn thing. It wasn't immediate.
When your mom tells you something, then in that moment you reject it, then later on it's in your head.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ugh, I hate that.
So so me, I grew up before all this. I can't imagine having that instant feedback. You know what I mean? So I was able to do a lot of things that I didn't get instant feedback from close, like family specifically, and I was so far away from people that I was like, even when I came back, I was like, my mom would ask me a question, I was like, do you know how many years I've been away? Like, you're telling me these things, do you know what I used to do when I was away? You don't know.
It's like,
so now you're trying to do things.
Yeah,
you're trying to do things to me. I'm like, So, but anyway, parents will still parent, because even at my big ass age, there's still things I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. Just trust that you raised me right, and I'll make right decisions. Don't be in my face.
Gosh, I used the same words with my mom just the other day. I was like, trust me that I too know the right decision.
Yeah.
Like, I've been living this life for these many years.
Exactly.
Out of your house these many years. Trust me. How about you trust me? Because, saa zingine you want to see it. Not kila saa you're always, critiquing. How about you trust me?
And that's the benefit of aging, because you're able to have that conversation with because at 24 or 25,
it's like a fight.
Hey, how dare you?
Raise your
hey, how dare you?
You answer back, it's like you've declared World War III on your parents. And then they don't understand that, which is a shame that we have to wait to age so that we can have these conversations with our parents.
Because, like, the thing I've been thinking about recently, especially growing older, is how people talk about how I talk to them. Because sometimes I can tell someone something, and it's not from an unkind place. It's just from how I talk. And then someone will be like, Ciiku, can you say it a bit more kinder, or can you say it a bit more softer or gentler? But I'm like, it's not from an unkind place, it's how I talk. Because, like, the other day I was like, as in me, don't tell me that. And then someone was like, blah, blah. I was like, by the way, me, this is not from an unkind place. I'm just like, I want you to stay in my life, and I want you to know that that's not something you can tell me. And I'm not going to cushion it for your sake. I'm going to say it because you need to hear this thing, Because
so I feel like, so it depends. So you see, if we go back to this thing of layers, there's some people who...
Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, I get what you say. So the thing is, I've accepted myself a lot more, because before I would question myself is, am I rude? Am I what?
Are you?
Am I rough? Or, because like, now, the way people always say, like, my key trademarks are grow up, relax, and calm down. I got 3 t-shirts. I got 3 t-shirts that say grow up, relax, and calm down. Because I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, it's not from an unkind place, but please calm down. You know what I mean?
Like, there's that period that you say, okay, relax.
Yeah. No, I still say relax.
I haven't seen it as much.
I still say relax.
Yeah, that's your
those 3 are my words. I'm like, just calm down. So I've kind of accepted myself more. Like, I'm more with myself. I'm more like welcoming of myself and who I'm becoming and who I am.
Yeah. So there's this other thing. I know we are going on about this, but I wouldn't feel right if we didn't talk about making friendships. As we're growing older, to be honest, I will be frank, it's more difficult to make friendships. Maybe it's because of all these other things that we said, that we're very clear about what we want, who we want in our lives. So even when people present themselves in our lives to be, some type of an association or type of relationship, whether it's very loosely fitted or it's like an actual serious friendship, it's getting harder to make friendships. It's because now also I don't think we're getting into friendships just like that, because like when we're in campus, when we're in high school, when we're in primary school, it was very easy. I'm in the neighborhood, you're like, yeah, we're going to play with Nani, yes, we are friends because we play together, we are friends. But now these days it's like, yeah, we go for drinks and we are friends, but even it's like we're now more exposed to each other's politics, we're more exposed to someone's lives, so it's more like, I don't like this type of person because they speak like this or this is their politics. So now as we're growing old, we're becoming more aware of these things about people, and we're like, kafa ata I remain in my house alone, then I go out for drinks with these people, then I end up leaving there feeling terrible because even that maybe conversation wasn't nourishing, or these people, I don't like them, or even just the vibes, your energy is just not working for me. So I'm just like, since I'm more aware, with more awareness, comes with this more greater ability to choose. So we're more picky, I would say, when you're making friendships.
It's interesting you should say that. By now my latest like newsletter is out, and I mentioned in that particular newsletter that in 2020 I am making it a point to make new friends, because I am not interested in molding the current friendships I am to fill the needs that I have. So I'm very open to meeting new people. So that's the other thing, is that I know what I need. So I'm actively pursuing it and not looking for the people who are currently in my life to fill the holes. And I don't mean holes, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the words right now, but yeah. So it's interesting you should bring that, because I feel like when you're older, you're more focused in the direction you want to take your relationships to take. That's again, if you're doing inner work. So you're
nyinyi wengine
continue doing what you're doing, I guess. I mean, whatever. So I'm looking for new friends. And as I said in the newsletter, I'm not social media, been there, done that. So whatever.
We have gone through the phase of making friends via social media. To be fair,
I know.
Afshibad.
I know.
By the way, hey, we achieved it.
I know.
When you say the level of actualization, we reached there and surpassed. And it's just like, yeah, that was good. And now we'll look at other situations to create those other friendships.
Amen.
And I feel like a reason why we feel trapped, that as you're growing older, it makes harder to make friends. So we're like, these friends that I have right now, they'll be the end all, start all, the everything and everything. So we're usually, I feel like we're trapped in that idea that we might never be able to make new friends. And it links with that idea of restarting.
Yes.
Of late, I've been having such a huge desire to restart, whether it means, making a complete shift, whether it means new friends, new location, new, like, you have it in you, like there's this desire that is just building and building. But as you're growing old, you're like, hey, now you need to be more discretionary about the risk you're making. It's like those things, for when you're younger, you can make higher financial risk, but when you're getting older, lower risk is better for you. So I'm like, it's so hard in this economy, in this, in the world of capitalism, to be like, yeah, I'm restarting, and for it to be okay with people, and then for it to now translate to you to be okay. Because even, of course, we have these internalized judgments within us, and we're like, yeah, you can't restart when you're at this age. It's very difficult, whether it's your career, whether it's your friendships, whether it's just all these things, because we're used to something and we're like, hey, I might not be able to replicate this in my new thing, or even surpass it, or even just get what I was getting, basically. So that's something also with growing old. When you're younger, I feel like you can take more risks, and that's what you're allowed to do. and not really when you grow older.
Yeah. And it's interesting you should bring up that, because, okay, let me just say my final thing on this is, like, one day, how my career has, like, taken a shift. Like, the things that have happened to me, they've affected my life. Like, and it's things I didn't think would happen.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with where I am, because I'm not where I thought I would be at my age, but I'm okay with where I am. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so I want for, like, anyone who's growing older and not seeing, like, their career specifically. I mean, we live in a capitalist world, so career is a thing and making money is a thing. I get it. But, like, sometimes you get a jolt and you're like, oh, this is not where I thought this thing would go. But finding peace in that is, like, the biggest thing. And I feel like as I grow older, my peace is the biggest thing I have right now, and that I can control in a capitalist world. So that's what I'm focused on. And I know, like, I have a lot of privilege even as I speak this. So it's not for everyone. So I am very aware of my privilege. But my peace has become so important to me that some of these, like, things that I thought I would feel shame about, or I would feel like a type of way, or I'm this age and this thing has not worked out, or this thing has ended, or like my contract is over, or whatever, are not affecting me like I thought they would in a regular way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad to be in this space, and yeah, even though, like, living is just the ghetto, I'm here and we continue, and yeah, we'll see if my 40th birthday party will, because it's gonna be big, you guys. Like, I'm not even joking. This bash will be big.
We ready.
I'm not turning 40 this year, just to be clear. If you've done the math, you know when I'm turning 40. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you find out
I don't even want to repeat anything, but growing old, it's usual. It shouldn't be looked at as this special thing. Or you're still looking fresh. Like,
or you should, by your age, you should have done.
Yeah. But to be honest, one thing I want you all to stop is that thing for, oh, you're this age. Wow, you don't even, like, what is wrong with even looking your age? Like, what the hell? As in, I'm so tired. Firstly, it's men who usually do this. They're like, oh, you're 30, you don't even look 30. Or you look 24. I'm like,
please, even me, I was told I look 25. I'm like,
if I showed you how I looked at 24, you would take back those words. So I know you're saying it just to say. Like, let's disabuse ourselves. Maybe it's long since we used that word.
Disabuse yourself of the notion.
Let's disabuse ourselves of that notion, that phrase, and whatever. Stop saying it.
I know.
Growing old is normal.
Yeah. And it happens.
Yeah.
And you look older, and your boobs will sag. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We don't, unless you have money to do like lifts and stuff.
All them.
Yeah. And if you think that what's her name has not done surgery, you need to check yourself. What's her name? The chick who did Tina Turner.
So many names.
Angela Bassett.
I have so many names.
She's got work done.
Excuse me, I have so many names for us to put in that blank space, that because these days
the black don't crack thing, it's not true, my friends.
Also, we need to talk about economical.
I know. I mean, do you know how people stay looking young? Money. Capitalism. Money. They can pay.
Money is hyaluronic acid.
They can pay.
Money
for
gym. Money.
Nutritionist.
Like, it's all those things.
Money is surgery.
Like, can we be serious? Don't think that anything special is CG the gods, CG the what. No.
Black.
It's normal, and it's okay to age. Only if you're doing that internal work, then it gets better.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you listening to?
So what I'm listening to, so actually my Spotify has been fantastic. With the...
If you have Spotify, do you listen? If you don't have Spotify, do you listen to music? I think not.
But then for a moment, I was not able to get onto my Spotify because
you lost your phone.
No, that's not the reason. You can use Spotify on any device.
Okay, sorry.
On Android.
No, sorry. Me, I have Deezer. I don't know about your
life. So my point is, the person who was getting family plan was like making the complete shift to the Kenyan life and everything. So they're like, I'm moving on. So now I had to devise another way. So a VPN is not enough when it comes to
Spotify
payments.
crazy. They became
So when it comes to
Someone was
payments,
telling
it
me
has to
that.
be like not a Kenyan card or a card that is in the regions. So I had to find a way to do it. So those days, so I will admit I tried being on Apple Music, and it was the ghetto. TheGhetto. Do you even find music? As in, but it made it so clear to me, user experience is so necessary.
I can't, honestly, Spotify, come to Kenya. Like, I'm not even hating. At this point, I've been on Deezer for so long. I know Deezer is better than Apple Music because I was on Apple Music, then I went to Deezer.
I really wish I had just tried with Deezer. Then maybe
Deezer is better than Apple Music.
Yeah. So anyways, my Discover Weekly has been fantastic. So because when I was on Apple Music, I was just listening to a lot of South African music. So Shasha's Blossom.
I love that album. I love that album.
Me, I
like when
so
albums bring it. Not at one song or two songs.
Yeah.
Like I love that album.
That one. It connected. Like one day, I think I was just sad. I was like, let me just play music in the house and just dance. And I was like, stand up and dance. Like it's 11 a.m. PM. And I was like, you're feeling down and there's nothing that you're doing. Just get up and, that's what I was doing, because I was like, this album is so yummy. I was like, yeah, so throwback to music.
Yeah. So personally, I'm listening to, so I'm looking for love songs that are about love. You know what I mean? So it's not about this money or about this, I can hook this woman or this man. No, love songs that are about love songs that are about love. So there's this white guy, he's called Alan Stone, and he has this song that's called Consider Me. I love that. Like, I find myself singing it, like humming it. That's how I know I like a song. Even when I'm not listening to it, I'm humming it. So it's Alan Stone, Consider Me. Look it up and let me know what you think.
Yeah. I will also do that.
Alrighty.
So, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast episode is recorded with the assistance of Ed, a filmmaker whose work you can explore on yb.co.ke. Listen to us on Google Podcasts, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you listen to podcasts.